to see on the 18th of March is just the usual suspects turning up at that march, right? Because, you know, it's very easy for that to happen. And I'm not knocking people who do turn up, far from it. You know, you have to put up with this same speech again from the platform, unfortunately, because I'm going to be one of the speakers. But what we have to do is to get people who haven't heard our arguments yet. What we have to do is not just wait for them to come in some miraculous form to that march. We have to go out into workplaces, we have to go out into communities, we have to go out into pubs and clubs and persuade people about what is really happening in this country right now. It's going on in workplaces. You know, people have said to me, criticised me for this actually, they said, you know, British values. Well, I seem to remember slavery, and I seem to remember colonialism. Now, if that's what we're talking about as British values, then let's have a conversation about that. Because I tell you, there's lots of people in this room who I can see who've been arguing about the sort of racism that we've experienced as black people in workplaces up and down this country for a long time. And I think it's unfortunate in lots of ways that it's taken some of the politics that we've seen over the last year to get people to understand that the sort of things we've been talking about weren't fiction, that they're not fiction. This is a very real thing.
It's not you see something suspicious that looks like they've carried out a crime or they've done some kind of, you know, they're planning some terrorist attack. The legislation actually says that actually you need to report anything suspicious about somebody that could in the future become an extremist. That could in the future be at risk of becoming an extremist. So what does that mean? We're getting teachers in primary school reporting young children. We're getting reports of 6-year-olds being reported under this legislation because actually, in practice, how do you identify those children? How do you identify who is going to be at risk of being an extremist and a terrorist in the future? You can't. There is no training. I mean, you know, the leader of the Labour Council here just said, you know, the training here is very good. I have no doubt it is, but actually how do you give training to spot what someone will do in the future? You can't. The whole legislation is based on racist profiling, and that's why you see such a massive rise of reporting of young Muslims, whether they're from teachers or, you know, even GPs are being asked to report patients.
Trump himself runs very much at all, but he's appointed a segregationist as the Attorney General, the most senior law officer. He's appointed, you heard on the news tonight probably, a climate change denier to be the Environment Secretary, and as we heard from Roger earlier on, he's appointed well, a buffoon, and a dangerous buffoon to be his own development spokesman, who doesn't believe, who believes that slavery can be equated with immigration. That's in the US. That's in a country that is supposed to have the best checks and balances on maintaining a stable democracy in any country in the world, better than ours in that way. So let's not be complacent about what can happen here, because we've seen it. I remember 10 years ago when Nick Griffin came to the borough and we protested against that.
And then racism, there was no laws because it was quite normal. I mean, you could see in shop windows without closets for rooms, no dogs or Irish allowed. And that was in the 1960s. Slightly later than that, when there was nobody to run the buses and tubes and so on and so forth, or hospitals and so on, they applied to get people in from Jamaica and so on. And suddenly you had no dogs, Irish or blacks around. And suddenly we were able to have a fight back against racism. And then, of course, there was the Asian people who came from Pakistan to build a house and homes that the Labour Party was building at the time. And so we had a bit of packy bashing, and now we had Irish blacks and so on. And then, of course, we had the National Front rise. People didn't mention them tonight. They were the curses of the time, of the period, yeah. And they decided to attack the Jewish cemeteries and graveyards, you know. We didn't know now they had the blacks, Irish, and Jews, and so on. And so we built up a good fight back against racism and started back the problems or the fight in local government over the place to drive racism out. And we did. And that time, I mentioned the National Front. Where did they go to? They went into football. And they started to organise in places like Chelsea, Millwall and other places. And they gave Chelsea the most appalling name. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm no fan of Chelsea, don't get me wrong. But they are 99% anti-racist. But the National Front went in there, and the BBC, everybody in the country was quite happy to say, football is full of racists. To encourage it, there's no discouraging. And that was, at first, what somebody around here to license to be racist. And every single week you had the police out there when these people used to chant it on and have the big fights and so on and against racism. But it was the fans who destroyed it. The fans at Chelsea, Blues against racism, the Chelsea fans at Everton that drove out the fascists from there, Nick Griffin and other elected MPs and so on, and knocked them out from it. But I think that these things are all racism, and football has got a policy of racism. And you spit at somebody, it's all over the newspapers. You curse at somebody, you call them the N-word or some other word, it's for the newspapers. You can go out to Pakistan or to and kill people, and it's okay. It's war, it's politics. And where our campaign here against football against apartheid racism, and we defeated apartheid in South Africa, and now we've got apartheid again in Palestine. Israel is going to Palestine and practicing apartheid, the most appalling stuff. And as Bishop Tutu says, it's far, far worse than apartheid South Africa ever was. Now, spitting at somebody, that is wrong. Cursing somebody, swearing people wrong. But actually killing people, 561 people in 2 months, is appalling and should not be happening. And my view is our British government, and we, by not opposing it, are giving the British government another licence to actually kill and massacre on a large scale. I ask you to support our campaign. Thank you.